And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Welcome to this part of my review series featuring Solitaria, the second edition. This is a tutorial review type of series. If you haven't seen the other parts, please check out the playlist in the description below. Solitaria is a cozy solo journaling game, but there are some RPG elements as well. This time, we are going to talk about performing a fate step. Creating the base range for the fate step is quite simple. When performing an action in Solitaria, you'll need to determine the success or failure using the fate step. Step 1 is, that is, the step 1 within the fate step is shuffling the current fate deck. Then you draw 2 cards from the fate deck. This would be the step 2 of the fate step. These 2 cards create a range that represents the difficulty or challenge you are facing, as you can see on the screen. This range will be used to compare the result of your fate draw. After performing the base range, or rather forming it, you perform a fate draw to resolve the action. You draw a 3rd card from the fate deck. This card is your fate card, and you compare the fate card to the base range to determine the outcome. Beginners can ignore an optional rule. To simplify gameplay, you ignore the suit of the card, but for those seeking more depth, these suit bonuses can add complexity to decision making. The result of the fate step depends on where your drawn card falls in relation to the base range. There are 5 possible outcomes. So for example, you have 5 of clubs, and let's say, just like on screen, you have 9 of hearts. If you draw 3 of diamonds, it's a failure because this is lower than the 5, the lowest value. If the fate card's value is lower than the lower base range, this is an absolute failure. But what if it's the same? Let's say 5 of diamonds, then it's a critical failure. If the fate card's value is exactly equal to the lower base range. But what if you draw a 7 of diamonds? Then it would be a success. It is higher than the low value, the low range. If the fate card's value falls between lower and higher base range, it's always a success. And let's say, well, it's pretty self-explanatory, as the cards are higher in their value, perhaps even higher than the high range value. And then it's going to be a plot twist or a critical success in your favor. Now let's talk about the optional suit bonuses and penalties. This is for advanced players. You can also consider the suits of the cards, which introduce advantages or disadvantages. You basically compare the suit of the fate card to the suits of the base range cards, and you apply bonuses or penalties based on the suit rank. So for example, you have a table, of course, to determine which value is higher concerning suits. But let's say that the suit that you draw is higher than the base range than that one. Sorry. If the suit is higher than one of the base ranges and matches the other, then you get a lesser advantage, +1 to the fate card. So this could give you the success you are looking for. So maybe you draw a 5. Oh, that would be a critical failure, right? But because of the suit, when you compare it, you get a +1 bonus. So now it goes up to 6, and it's a success. It sounds more complicated than it actually is, but just to simplify things, you compare the suits, and based on that comparison according to the table, it's going to give you a bonus, hopefully. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about the attribute bonuses in the fate draw. So it's really, really simple. I was just trying to explain things in as much detail as possible, but you shuffle the deck, you draw 2 cards, One of those cards is going to be the lower base range. The other one is going to be the higher base range. Then you draw your third card to see if you are successful in your action, in your task. You compare the value, and if it's higher than the lower base, it's going to be a success. If it's even higher than that, it could be a plot twist or a critical success. Sorry, critical success. I can't speak tonight. If you draw lower than the low range, it could be a critical failure or just a failure. And you don't need to use the values for the suits for comparison to get those bonuses. It's all very simple. Thank you for watching this part of the tutorial and review series. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. You can also check out the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, roleplay solves everything. Once again, thank you and see you later.